B804 will be replied by the Honourable Prime Minister, time permitting. B779 will be replied by the Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Regional Integration and International Trade. Honourable Second Member for Maïbo Plaine Magnan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B768.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Chief Executive Officer of Airport Terminal Operations Limited that the car park at the Suivez International Airport are the total of 1,562 parking slots located as follows. The old terminal has 670 slots and the new terminal 892 slots. 1,207 of these parking slots are dedicated to the public, whilst the remaining 355 are used by airport stakeholders. Following complaints received from members of the public with respect to the lack of parking spaces at the new terminal, 2 surveys were conducted by the Airport Terminal Operations Limited on the 5th and the 10th of March 2025 respectively. These surveys have revealed that 35% of the parking slots were occupied by car rental vehicles, thus reducing the availability of parking facilities for the public. The situation becomes particularly chaotic during peak seasons due to insufficient parking spaces. To address this issue, a dedicated parking zone of 144 slots for car rental operators is now operational at the old terminal car park since May of this year. Consequently, this decision has significantly helped to eliminate the persisting problem of parking available for the general public near the new terminal building. Since these changes have been made, no complaints have been received. With regard to Part A of the question, I'm informed by the Chief Executive Officer that there are now already adequate parking spaces, roads and exit gates at the airport. It is therefore not envisaged to provide additional facilities at this point. As regards Part B of the question, I'm informed that the 670 parking slots at the old terminals have always been operational. As stated, 144 slots are dedicated for car rental operators, and the remaining 526 are meant for the general public. Adequate directional signage is available to guide car park users through and out of the old terminal parking. Madam Speaker, I'm further informed that following an open national international bidding exercise, a contract was awarded on the 12th of August 2024 to VD Tech Distributors Limited for the sum of $1,421,493, excluding VAT, dollars, which would make around 66,810,171 rupees at the time, for the implementation of a smart car park management solution project in 2 phases. This project is expected to smoothen the traffic flow and improve parking experience at the airport. Phase 1 of the project, which is presently being implemented, is expected to be operational in December of this year. I also wish to inform the House that the Board of Airport Terminals Operations Limited did not deem it important to appoint a consultant to ascertain that the works undertaken is in compliance with the terms of the contract. Secondly, another disturbing fact is that one of the members of the bid evaluation committee is the very person who is now certifying the quality of the works prior to the payment. That is MSM. This matter has been referred to the Financial Crimes Commission.
Yes.
Thank you, the Honourable Prime Minister. Just as a suggestion, perhaps to consider to put automatic paying tickets for parking to reduce traffic at the airport. I got a supplementary question. Is the Prime Minister aware that daily fighting and discussion among taxi operators at the SSR airport have been reported several times at the police station of the SSR airport? No action have been taken. Will an investigation be initiated to ensure the safety of our citizens at the airport?
I'm not aware that the There has been no investigation, but I'll certainly transmit that to the Airports Authority.
Thank you. Yes, Honourable Third Member for Goodlands, Petite Rivière.
769, please.
Madam Speaker, in the budget speech 2025-2026, I announced that the rates of excise duty on vehicles would be increased. This budgetary measure was implemented through a financial resolution passed on the day of the budget, that is the 5th of June 2025. This makes the increase in the rates of excise duty effective as from the 6th of June 2025. In a spirit of fairness, we provided a transitional period whereby a vehicle continued to be subject to the old excise rate as was applicable, that is, prior to the 6th of June 2025, provided that, first, the vehicle has been issued with an import permit or has been shipped or placed in a bonded warehouse before the 6th of June 2025, and there are two conditions, and it was cleared from the customs on or before the 30th of June 2025. Accordingly, after the transitional period, that is from the 1st of July 2025, all vehicles cleared from customs are being subjected to the new excise rates. Representations have been received from dealers of both new and second-hand imported motor vehicles through their respective associations. The Motor Vehicle Dealers Association, which represents dealers of new imported motor vehicles, requested in writing that the cut-off date of 30th of June 2025 for the transitional period be extended by 6 months, that is to 31st of December 2025. The Dealers in Imported Vehicles Associations, which represents second-hand imported vehicles, requested for a meeting with government to discuss issues that they had on the transitional provision or the new tax rate on hybrid vehicles. Officers of the Ministry of Finance held a meeting on the 25th of June 2025 with representatives of the Dealers in Imported Vehicles Association, namely the chairperson and 2 members. And the latter made the following proposals. 1, to extend the cut-off date of 30th of June 2025 to 30th of September 2025 for cars already shipped as well as those not yet shipped but for which an import permit had already been obtained before the 6th of June 2025. Secondly, they asked that motor vehicles in respect of which applications for import permit have been made on the 5th of June 2025, that is on budget day, be subjected to the old rate of excise duty. And third, to extend the cut-off date of 30th of June 2025 to 15th of July 2025 for cars in bonded showrooms or warehouses due to administrative bottlenecks following a surge in the number of vehicles requiring clearance at the level of various government agencies. Madam Speaker, in regards to the extension of the cut-off date, I wish to highlight that the 2 associations had requested different extension dates. Entertaining the request would have accentuated the alarming rate of increase in vehicles on the road and defeated the very purpose of introducing that measure. Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Mauritius Revenue Authority that during the transitional period which we extended, which lasted for 25 days, a total of 6,703 cars, of which 4,093 were new and 2,610 imported second-hand cars were cleared by the Customs Department under the old rates of excise duty. I think these figures speak for themselves, Madam Speaker. The number of cars cleared during the transitional period represents more than 3 times the average monthly import in 2024, which was 2,020 cars. In fact, the number of cars cleared during the 25 days of the transitional period represents nearly 30% of the total number of imported cars in 2024. Total number. It is evident, therefore, that dealers in new and imported motor vehicles have been able to take full advantage of the transitional period. During the month of June 2025, imports of motor vehicles led to a total outflow of foreign currencies of around $200 million. This has impacted negatively on the trade deficit as well as the availability of foreign currencies on the forex market. Therefore, government does not intend to extend the cut-off date for the transitional period.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Madame la Présidente.
Yes.
Le Premier ministre peut-il expliquer à la Chambre pourquoi, même s'il a, dans sa réponse, donné beaucoup d'explications, un délai aussi court de seulement 24 jours qui a été imposé pour tout finaliser. Donc, alors qu'il faut entre 6 et 8 semaines pour un bateau, pour arriver à Maurice, que ce soit depuis le Japon ou l'Angleterre, par exemple.
I must say, Madam Speaker, there were discussions, and many people wanted not to have a transitional period at all. The cut-off date had to be on the budget day, that is the next day, 6th of June. But we decided to give some time. But as I mentioned, Madam Speaker, look at the number of cars that were imported during that short period and how much government actually lost. But that's the way it is.
Okay.
Madame la Présidente.
Oui, allez-y.
Donc, comme je l'ai dit, vu le temps que prennent les bateaux pour arriver à Port-Louis, le Premier ministre peut-il, malgré tout ce qu'il a dit, j'ai bien compris, peut-il envisager d'accorder un délai raisonnable de 92 jours aux importateurs, comme cela avait été le cas pour une transaction similaire en 2016 à travers le GN 165 de 2016, en fait?
In our case, the answer is no.
Très bien. Next question, Honourable Second Member for Rivière-des-Anguilles-Souillac.
Question B770, please.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Financial Crimes Commission that there is an ongoing investigation on the allegations with respect to the acquisition of immovable properties of the former Prime Minister at Angus Road. With regard to part A of the question, this inquiry is still going on at the FCC, and therefore it would not be available to give further information on that. But as regards part B of the question, the straight answer is yes. The House may wish to recall that in June 2014, the Attorney General's Office had made a request for mutual legal assistance to the UK authorities on the very subject. This request had been made specifically to trace the money trail in this very matter. However, soon after the MSM-led coalition came to power in December 2014, the then Attorney General, Mr. Ravi Yerigadu, had in early 2015 advised the defunct ICAC that the MSM-led government did not wish to pursue the request for mutual legal assistance with the UK authorities. That is plainly interference in an inquiry. It is deeply troubling, Madam Speaker, that such a crucial avenue of international cooperation was deliberately shut down. This only reinforces the concerns about how politically sensitive matters were handled, or rather mishandled, in the past 10 years by the former MSM-led government. Instead of supporting the search for truth, steps were allegedly taken to block investigations, to kill investigations, in fact. We, on the other hand, are committed to institutional integrity, accountability, and the proper functioning of the judicial process.
Yes? Yes, your supplementary?
Thank you. But the Honourable Prime Minister must acknowledge that the public demands clear and tangible outcomes from such inquiry. Can he give assurance to this House that this will be the case?
I can give the total assurance 100,000% that this will be the case. No cover-up, nobody will be spared. The truth will have to prevail.
Yes. The Honourable Third Member for Port Louis North and Mortagne.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. PQ B771, please.
Madam Speaker, regarding to part A of the question, I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that 7 vehicles from the police carpool were allocated to the former Commissioner of Police during his tenure of office. 7. Even I don't have 7. From the 3rd of August 2021 to the 12th of November 2024. In respects to part A1 and 2 of the question, I'm tabling the information required by the Honourable Member. With regard to part A3 of the question, I'm informed that there is an ongoing investigation on this matter. With regards to part B1, 2, and 3 of the question, I'm further informed by the Commissioner of Police that during the tenure of Mr. Anil Kumar Dip, former Commissioner of Police, no vehicle was specifically acquired by the government for his use, although in accordance with the recommendation of the 2021 PRB report, the Commissioner of Police may either be allocated a government vehicle within the prescribed ceiling value for both official and private use, or opt for a 100% duty exemption for a car up to 2,000 cc with relevant allowances. Upon his retirement on the 13th of November 2024, Mr. Anil Kumar Deep acquired a car from the VIP carpool of make Porsche model Macan for the sum of 415,140 rupees, which was delivered to him on the 16th of November 2024.
Yes, Mr. Kazan, you're all right? Yes? Good. The Honourable Fourth Member for Rodrigues.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B772.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Civil Status Division that the celebration of civil marriages in Rodrigues, including those between a Rodriguan and a foreign national, as well as between two foreign nationals, is governed by the Civil Status Act, which applies across the Republic of Mauritius. As regards to the publication procedure for marriages involving a non-citizen to a citizen, I'm informed that A, both persons must appear in person at the Central Civil Status Office to submit a joint application for publication along with all the mandatory documents. 2, upon verification and acceptance of the documents, the Civil Status Officer proceeds with the publication of the intended marriage at the Central Civil Status Office, the Civil Status Office of the district where each party has resided for at least 7 days, and the Civil Status Office of the district where the marriage is meant to take place. The publication notice is affixed in the respective offices for a period of 30 consecutive days. It is to be noted that the civil marriage cannot be celebrated during that period of publication, that is 30 days. Moreover, during a 30-day publication period, any person may lodge a notice of objection to the marriage with the registrar. And if no objection is received, or if any objection is overruled, the marriage may then be celebrated within a period of 3 months. With regard, Madam Speaker, with regard to marriages between two non-citizens, I'm informed that the procedure is as follows. A, an application for publication of the intended marriage, along with all the required documents, must be submitted to the Central Civil Status Office, either via email or through a registered wedding coordinator, at least 1 month prior to the intended day of the celebration, to allow for the necessary verification and clearance from the Passport and Immigration Office. B, therefore, upon arrival in Mauritius, both parties must report in person to the Central Civil Status Office for verification of the original documents. C, once the documents have been verified and approved, the parties proceed to the Civil Status Office of the district where the marriage is meant to be celebrated to complete the publication procedures, and D, the civil marriage may then be celebrated on the day immediately following the day of publication. As for Rodrigues citizens intended to marry a foreign citizen, or for two foreign citizens to marry in Rodrigues, they have to follow the process in Mauritius, as it is in Mauritius, I described above, and therefore proceed to Rodrigues for the celebration of the civil marriage.
Yes, your supplementary?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the Honourable Prime Minister for his reply. Some years back, I understand that the procedures were done in Rodrigues. Can the Prime Minister inform the House if he will consider that this resume as it was before?
I must say I didn't quite understand the question.
You
want a different procedure for Rodrigues?
Yes, he said, will you accept to go back to the previous procedure when it was done in Rodrigues?
We'll have to look into that.
Yes, I think so. What is interesting is that Mauritius is not Gretna Green. You can't just go and get married. You need publication. Okay. I think now we've reached the second member for Maïbo Plaine Magnan, Mr. Apollo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B773.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that on the 24th of September 2024, at around 19:20 hours, Mr. Gigi reported to the police that earlier, at about 1700 hours, he was in the company of 5 persons, and they were peacefully demonstrating on the pavement near the new social living development housing units at Residence Malherbe. All 6 individuals were wearing white T-shirts bearing the inscription, No Adil Piti Mama, and were holding a banner in which was written, No Adil Piti Mama et rends-nous la terre. The House may wish to recall that the deal Piti Mama pertained to a case of potential conflict of interest, given that it involved a transfer of a 60-year-old lease for a plot of land in Port Louis. At one point during the demonstration, 4 individuals known to the declarant approached the group, pushed them, forcibly took the banner and tore it, and then uttered offensive words directed at them. I'm further informed, Madam Speaker, by the Commissioner of Police that on the 27th of 2024, that is 3 months after the incident, the case was referred to the Central Criminal Investigation Department for further investigation. During the course of the inquiry, police recorded statements from the complainant, the 5 individuals who were with him at the material time, and 4 of the police officers who were on duty thereat. This inquiry is still ongoing. So far, no person has been arrested.
Yes, Mr. Apollon, yes. All right, this Honourable Third Member for Port Louis North and Montagnard, Mr.
B774, please.
Madam Speaker, the Citizen Support Portal, CSP, which was launched in April 2017, is a digital platform that allows citizens to register their complaints, queries, and suggestions related to government services. Each registered complaint is allocated a ticket number. At the back end of the portal, the CSP connects 583 ministries, departments, local authorities, parastatal bodies, and some state-owned companies for the purpose of resolving the complaints and challenging the suggestions and queries. Madam Speaker, in regard to Part A of the question, when a citizen registered a ticket through the website or a mobile app, it is automatically challenged to the CAB nearest to his residence. The citizen support officer posted there reviews the case and, where possible, addresses the problem. If the issue requires support from any ministry or department or parastatal body, it requires then the CSO transfer the ticket directly on the system to the desk officer or the focal point designated by the organization concerned. It is the responsibility of the organization to resolve the ticket within different time frame set by them and to inform the compliant accordingly. The focal point analyzes and monitors all the tickets which have been created within the organizations and its subsidiary departments and parastatal bodies. The CSU also conducts an overall monitoring of tickets registered on a regular basis to identify recurring and systemic issues and provide ministry with evidence-based insights for performance monitoring, policy and service improvement. Madam Speaker, in regard to Part B of the question, I'm informed that as of 24th of July 2025, 14 state-owned enterprises under the aegis of various ministries have been included into the CSU software ecosystem and data analytics dashboard. Other state-owned enterprises, statutory bodies, and parastatal organizations are being encouraged to register on the portal. It will be in the public interest that all such bodies be taken on board of the CSU portal.
Thank you. Yes. The Honourable Second Member for Audrey, Mr. Francois.
Thank you very much. B/775.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed that a bill entitled Diego Garcia Military Base and British Indian Ocean Territory Bill was presented to the UK House of Commons and read for the first time on the 15th of July 2025. The purpose of the bill is inter alia to provide for the dissolution of the so-called British Indian Ocean Territory. As per the press release recently issued by the British High Commission, Chagosian's British citizenship remains unaffected by the domestic law enacted by the UK Parliament, to give effect, that is, to the agreement between Mauritius and the UK concerning the Chagos archipelago, including Diego Garcia. Madam Speaker, nothing in this agreement between Mauritius and the UK on the Chagos archipelago purports to adversely affect any citizenship rights that any Chagosians may be entitled to under the UK citizenship or nationality laws. For the avoidance of any doubt, I wish to recall that Mauritius has never recognized the so-called British Indian Ocean Territory, which was purportedly created by the UK following this unlawful excision of the Chagos archipelago from the territory of Mauritius prior to its accession to independence.
Yes? It's all right? Yes? The Honourable First Member for Savannah Black River.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B776.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that the Anti-Drug and Smuggling Unit, ADSU, of the Western Division operates under the command of a Superintendent of Police who reports to the Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of ADSU. Its office is located at the divisional headquarters in Rosehill. In regards to Part A of the question, the Western Division has 58 police officers of various grades. The team includes supervisory, investigative, and operational personnel. Regarding to Part B of the question, I'm informed that for operational effectiveness, the Western Division is deployed into 5 sub-teams in 36 regions, comprising Inter Alia, Albion, Black River, Beaubassin, Rosehill, and Bamboo. Regard to Part C of the question, I'm informed that a fleet of 15 vehicles is at the disposal of the division. Madam Speaker, I'm also informed that while ADSU sub-teams are assigned specific jurisdiction within the Western Division, they retain the authority to operate island-wise, particularly if there is intelligence about urgent threats.
Yes, one question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In view, like the Prime Minister just said, the area covered, will he consider to bring a new Western Division to the west, a new headquarters or main office to the west?
Yeah, this is the proposal that is being looked at, because when it is at Rosehill, this is the complaint that has been made. They are looking whether it is possible to split. There are, I just said there are subdivisions, but maybe that should be considered.
Okay, happy. The Honourable Second Member for Rivière des Anguilles-Souillac.
Question B777, please.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, on the basis of information gathered so far, Mrs. Sona Ori has served as 1. Commissioner for the Protection of Borrowers for the period 15th May 2015 to 21st of October 2019, drawing a monthly salary of 100,000 rupees, a traveling allowance of 9,000 rupees, and a driver's allowance of 7,000 rupees. Mrs. Sona Ori was reappointed on the 13th of December 2019 with a monthly salary, which was then increased to 120,000 rupees, a traveling allowance which was increased to 9,000 rupees, but with the driver's allowance increased to 8,400 rupees. She resigned on the 27th of February 2020. Second, she served also as a member of the Assessment Review Committee for a period of 3 years, with effect from the 2nd of July 2020, with an all-inclusive monthly allowance of 86,845 rupees and a monthly traveling allowance of 11,500 rupees. Following the PRB report of 2021, her monthly all-inclusive allowance was revised to 96,295 rupees and traveling allowance of 12,000 rupees with effect from the 1st of January 2021 to the 30th of June 2022. The traveling allowance was also increased to 13,200 rupees as from the 1st of July 2020. Mrs. Sona Ori was reappointed as member of the ARC for a further period of 3 years with effect from the 1st of July 2023, and she resigned on the 17th of October 2024. Thirdly, she was a board member of AHL Properties from September 2023 to November 2024, drawing a 10,000 rupees monthly salary as board fees. Fourth, she was also a board member of Landscope from March 2018 to October 2019, and from March 2020 to November 2024 with a monthly fee of 25,000 rupees. Fifth, she was a board member of BPML Freeport Services Limited from May 2018 to November 2024 for a monthly fee of 8,500 rupees. 6, she was also a board member of Informatics Park Limited from May 2018 to October 2019, drawing a monthly fee of 10,500 rupees. 7th, she was also a member of the Council of the Mahatma Gandhi Institute, Rabindranath Tagore Institute from 2015 to 2019 for a total fee of 98,160 rupees. And 7th, she was also chairperson of the Senior Appointment Committee of the Mauritius Institute of Education from April 2017 to October 2019 for a total fee of 102,599 rupees. Madam Speaker, it's not over, it's not over. It's not over. Mrs. Sona Ori also served as legal advisor to various public organizations. 1, Airports of Mauritius Company Limited, from November 2023 to October 2024, for a fee of 1.3 million rupees. Second, Mauritius Duty Free Paradise. She was again a legal advisor to Mauritius Duty Free Paradise from July 2016 to December 2023, drawing a legal fees of 4.8 million rupees. Third, she was also a member of the Mauritius Broadcasting Corporation from March 2024 to January 2025, drawing 239,900 rupees as fees. Fourth, SBM Holdings Limited. She was also a member there. She was earning fees of 4.7 million rupees in 2024. And fifth, SBM. She was also a member of the FEM Bank Limited for the years 2020 to 2024, and believe it or not, for a total fee of 37.2 million rupees. Madam Speaker, no, not over. Mrs. Sona Ori was enlisted as a legal representative for the following institutions. 1, the Mauritius Police Force, representing former commissioners of police in several cases and drawing a total of 4.3 million rupees. She was also the legal representative of the Independent Broadcasting Authority in June 2022 for a fee of 61,000 rupees. Third, she was also a legal representative of the Information and Communication Technologies Authority from 2016 to 2024 for a fee of 12.1 million rupees. Fourth, she was also the legal representative of Mauritius Housing Company Limited for the period of October 2021 to March 2025 at a cost of 1.4 million rupees. Furthermore, she was also the legal representative of the Financial Intelligence Unit for services provided in December 2023 and January 2024 at a cost of 1.5 million rupees. 6. She was also, Madam Speaker, a legal representative for Air Mauritius Limited for a disciplinary committee in March 2017 for a fee of 115,000 rupees. She was also the legal representative of Polytechnics Mauritius Limited from January 2018 to September 2018 and February 2021 against a fee of 88,400 rupees. She was also the legal representative of the Independent Review Panel for two cases in 2020 and 2023 against a total payment of 567,500 rupees for two cases. 9th, Mobank Limited. She was also a representative there, legal representative, for the period of January 2022 to December 2024 for a total fee of 348,700 rupees. Madam Speaker, for the period of 2015 to 2024, Mrs. Sona Ori, attorney at law, has received a total amount of 82.7 million rupees. In addition, Mrs. Sona Ori has made a claim of 2,027,500 to the FCC. If we add this, the sum amount to an astronomical figure of 84.7 million rupees in favor of Mrs. Ori. I sometimes ask myself, Madam Speaker, but there were no other attorneys in Mauritius, only one person. You ask yourself, what do these people eat? What could they be eating to take so much money? How fat can you get on money?
Honourable fourth member for Port-Louis North and Montaignon, Mr. Duval. Okay, let's have this one, and then we will stop. Yes, Prime Minister?
Madam Speaker, I wish to refer the honourable member to the statement I made in the House last Friday, the 25th of July of this year, where I denounced the unpatriotic and disgraceful act of the opposition which caused the reputation of our country to be sullied. Now, I've already addressed parts B and C of the question in the statement that I made at the sitting of Friday, 25th of July, 2025. As regards to part A of the question, the delegation comprised Honourable Jaman, Honourable Savabati, Honourable Lakiram, Honourable Apollo, and Honourable Babulal. The total cost incurred amounted to 1,134,471 rupees. I'm also informed that the honourable members will refund the excess per diem that was paid to them at the mission, which was initially scheduled from 16th of July to the 1st of August 2025, lasted only from 18th of July to 25th of July 2025. That is how we operate on this side. Madam Secretary, it is worth pointing out that the Honourable Juval became Speaker after his predecessor was consigned to the ICU under the false pretext that he had to undergo urgent cardiac treatment. There was a confusion as well. He made a statement that I'm not resigned, I'm well, and then we heard that he's going, God knows what happened. Over the 78 days when the honourable member was Speaker, he realized the feat of chairing 4 sittings of the National Assembly and undertook 3 missions over a span of 2 weeks, shuttling from India to China to Armenia. 3 missions that cost the taxpayers an amount of 748,102 rupees. And this amount of 748,112, this amount excludes expenses for other members of the delegation. That is only for him. As I indicated, Madam Speaker, in my statement last Friday, the Honourable Kirin has already served 2 full terms as a member of the national delegation to the Pan-African Parliament, that is from May 2015 to May 2018, again from May 2020 to October 2024. For the period 2015 to 2018, he undertook 5 missions for a total cost of 1,112,011 rupees. Now, during the period 2019 to 2024, he participated in meetings of the Pan-African Parliament on 10 occasions. Wow. The expenditure incurred for these missions were 2,723,9 195.75. The total expenses for these 15 missions, as a member of the national delegation, amount to 3,835,206 rupees and 75 cents. And I wish to draw the attention of the House to the protocol of the Constitutive Act of the African Union relating to the Pan-African Parliament, which was adopted in 1214. And I quote, it says, the term of a member of the Pan-African Parliament shall be for 5 years. He or she shall be eligible for re-election for 1 further term only. This clause is currently in the process of ratification. Had it been ratified, the honourable member would not even have been eligible for that re-election. I'm a bit surprised that this escaped his attention. And Article 4, Madam Speaker, is clear. What does it say? It says that members of the opposition, it doesn't say that members of the opposition should be included. It says that it should include a diversity of opinion. But I remind the House, we have a diverse coalition here, 4 parties plus members from Rodrigues. We have a diversity of opinion.
Yes?
Yes. Madam Speaker, there are many precedents of delegations being told to ask the placards because of the way they have been constituted. I will ask the Prime Minister whether he is prepared to take back the injurious statement that he has made against the Pan-African Parliament last Friday and the African Union.
I made the statement, Madam Speaker, because precisely of the unpatriotic way that they have sudden gazetification of this country.
Okay, members, we have got members. Members, I am trying to speak. We have gone well beyond the time limit for you, Prime Minister. So we are ending here. B780, B783, B782 have been withdrawn. Now we move to questions addressed to honourable ministers. And I'm calling on the whip, Chief Whip. I'm sorry. I should call you Honourable Second Member for Belrose, Quatre-Bonnes, because it's in this capacity that you put the question. Go ahead.
Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente. B786.
Avant la réponse, Monsieur le Ministre, permettez-moi de dire tout ce qui a été retiré. Let me do that. The table has been advised that PQB 796 will be replied by Honourable Minister of Tourism. PQB 798 will be replied by Honourable Minister of Housing and Lands. PQB 805 will be replied by Honourable Minister of Tourism. PQB 812 will be replied by the Honourable Minister of Local Government. Now, Honourable Minister.
786 is a nice coincidence. It is my registered number of the rolls of engineers. Madam Speaker, I would like to refer the honourable member to my reply to her PQ B17153 of 18 March 2025, whereby I informed the House that an inquiry would be carried out on the cycle network project, which was implemented by the Traffic Management and Road Safety Unit of my ministry, owing to its high value and fading of the paint at several locations, which the honourable member had mentioned in the House. To recall, the honourable member had questioned me as to whether an inquiry would be conducted on this project that cost 61.94 million rupees inclusive of VAT. And in this respect, Madam Speaker, the internal control was requested, was requested to conduct an inquiry with the following terms of reference. A, to assess compliance with procedures. B, review the procurement process. And C, assess the role of stakeholders. Madam Speaker, the Internal Control Unit has submitted its report to my ministry on 30th of May 2025, and I must say the findings are appalling. The list is quite long. I will just mention the salient ones at this stage for this project, which I have to remind the House, as I stated before, is devoid of a regulatory framework. Okay, regarding the compliance and procedures part, which is the first part of the terms of reference, the capital project process manual and the conditions of contract have not been complied with. Number two, there are instances where major items which have not been completed, but they were paid for. This tantamount to forgery. Number three, the photos and fading road markings, as were tabled by the Honourable Octin, has been confirmed by the Internal Control Unit. As a matter of fact, there have been discrepancies in materials used. Now, coming back to the second part of the terms of reference, the review of procurement process, the findings are as follows. Number one, there were inconsistencies in the scope of works for the consultancy services of Mega Design Limited, which is the consultant that was appointed. I am informed that there are deviations as regards requirements of the CIDB, Construction Industry Development Board. There were inappropriate evaluation of technical bids for consultancy services, and I'm informed that the consultant was paid a total of 13.472 million rupees, inclusive of VAT. There were inaccurate cost estimates by the TRMSU. Rates submitted by the contractor was on the high side. The contract was awarded to Transfinvest company, though the contract price was 25.13% higher than the cost estimate. It is to be noted that the required limit as per the Capital Project Process Manual of the Ministry of Finance is only 15%. Madam Speaker, as regards the assessment of the role of stakeholders, which is the third part of the terms of reference, the Internal Control Unit found major shortfalls in connection with lack of supervision by the project manager at the TRMSU and at the Ministry's level. Madam Speaker, against this backdrop, I would like to inform the Honourable Member and the House that the report is now being submitted to the Financial Crimes Commission for further investigation.
Thank you. Yes, Mme. Santil.
Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente. Will the Honorable... je suis abasourdi par la réponse du ministre. Will the Honorable Minister inform the House of the number of meetings chaired by the former Minister Ganu in connection with this project? Thank you.
I don't have this number, but Madam Speaker, I have to say that in my more than a decade of career in the civil service, I've never seen such level of deviation with approved processes and manuals. In as much as the report is being forwarded to the Financial Crime Commission, I will leave it to the Commission to elucidate whether the officers took it on themselves or were instructed by other people, including the former minister.
Yes. The last one, Madam Speaker. Will the Minister indicate whether the findings of the inquiry will be made public in the interest of transparency and good governance? Thank you.
Madam Speaker, I have the report with me. It's quite thick. This is the report that is being forwarded to the Financial Crime Commission for further inquiry. I believe at this stage it will be improper for me to table it.
Too early. Yes, Mr. Bijan, I think.
Yes,
yes,
thank you, Madam
second
Speaker.
member for Grand Bay.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B787.
Madam Speaker, I'm informed by the Road Development Authority that the road in front of Duga Churn Hari Government School in Goodlands, known as the Mapu Goodlands A5 Road, is frequently flooded during heavy rainfall period due to surface runoff from lateral roads and lack of adequate drainage network. These flood events cause significant disruption to school attendance, pose serious safety risks to students, pedestrians, and road users, and adversely affect vehicular movement along the Mapu Goodlands Road. To resolve the flooding problem at this locus, a comprehensive drainage scheme has been proposed by the Land Drainage Authority, comprising two main components, namely Component 1, provision of concrete drains, dimension 0.7 meter by 0.7 meter over a stretch of 400 meters along A5 road in front of the school, and construction of a cross drain across A5 road to evacuate water from lateral roads. Given that the first component relates to a main road, the works have been entrusted to the RDA. The works have been estimated at 18 million and will be carried out under the framework agreement of the RDA to be funded under the National Flood Management Program. Once financial clearance is secured, a works order will be issued and the drain works will be implemented within 8 months. Component 2, in parallel, the National Development Unit has been requested to proceed with complementary flood mitigation interventions within the vicinity, including first, a provision of a 50-meter stretch of absorption drain along Verger Road to capture excess runoff from upstream regions, and B, construction of absorption drains and installation of cross drains along GSS Road, Reservoir Road, and Subani Road with grating. The works are currently being implemented by General Construction Limited for an amount of 14.6 million. Works started in October 2024 and expected to be completed by August 2025. Madam Speaker, a long-term solution to the issue of flooding along Royal Road, Goodlands, in the vicinity of Dugachern Early Government School will be obtained once both components have been implemented.
Yes. Yes, one question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the Honourable confirm if requests have been obtained previously by the former government representative in the Assembly regarding these repeated problems in the region of Goodlands?
As far as I am aware, I don't think a request was made, but anyway, we are undertaking the works by RDA and the MDU. There are 2 projects that will be undertaken.
Yes, the Honourable First Member for Savannah and Black River.
B788.
Madam Speaker, with regard to Part A of the question, I'm informed that a total of 229 leases has been granted by my ministry over state land at Riambel as follows. 155 for residential purposes, 64 Parlement sites, and 10 for industrial purposes. I'm also informed that all the sites are connected to the CEB and CWA networks. As regards Part B, I'm further informed that there are no squatters over state land at Riambel. However, there are 3 cases of squatting within the Suriname ex-CHA housing estate, which forms part of the bigger portion of state land at Riambel. My ministry is considering the possibility of regularizing these 3 cases. Insofar as access to water and electricity is concerned, I understand that applications should be made to the CWA and CEB respectively.
Yes. Okay.
Madam.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Madam. In regards to the 64 more sites you just mentioned, Honourable Minister, I have been informed that there are lots of them which are unoccupied and these places are being used as drug trafficking areas. Will your minister consider to have some site visits over there as they are bushy, they are neglected? Yeah. There are lots of trees, bushes. Will your minister consider having a site visit over there so we can check if those sites are being properly maintained or being used as I've just said?
I'm very thankful to the honourable member who, as usual, is very meticulous when it comes to those issues. I would gladly go through the bushes with you. I mean, to those campements, and we would we would look into it. I would gladly love the opportunity of doing so with the other members of the constituency as well, and my officers. And if at all any campement site is totally left abandoned, I see it as a changement de destination. And as such, I would explore the possibility of putting an end to those leases. Correct. Rightly so. Thank you.
Yes, okay. The Honourable Second Member for Grand Bay Poudre d'Or.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. B789.
Madam Speaker, I am informed on the 20th of March 2025, a tragic workplace accident occurred on the premises of Sagar Hotels and Resort Limited, more commonly known as Le Méridien Hotel, located at Pointe de Piment. The incident involved the explosion of a diving cylinder, which unfortunately caused the death of one person. With regard to Part A of the question, I'm informed that on the same day, the National Occupational Safety and Health Department of my ministry started an investigation on the site to determine the cause of the accident. I'm informed that the matter is still under investigation and the ministry is awaiting the testimony of a supervisor of the deceased who was out of town, as well as the report of the Forensic Science Laboratory on the gas cylinder that exploded. Madam Speaker, the police has informed my ministry that on the date of the accident, the police conveyed the body to Dr. G2 Hospital mortuary, where an autopsy was carried out, and the principal medical officer certified the cause of death as shock due to multiple injuries. According to information gathered by the police, it came out that the deceased was replenishing one cylinder with compressed air by a compressor when the cylinder exploded. The cylinder was secured by the police and sent to FSL on the same day for deeper analysis and investigation. My ministry has been informed that the FSL completed its investigation on 28th of July 2025, yesterday, and the report has been submitted to the police. My ministry has requested for a copy of this report as it may provide critical insight into the cause of the explosion and also help the ministry determine any breach as regards to compliance with the Occupational Safety and Health Act. Madam Speaker, under Section 72 of the Occupational Safety and Health Act, no gas cylinder for corrosive gas shall be filled unless it has been examined and tested by a competent person at least once every 2 years, and no gas cylinders for other gases shall be filled unless it has been examined and tested by a competent person at least every 5 years. I'm informed by the police department that the cylinder that exploded was purchased on the 7th September 2022. And the director of the center, Mr. MB, is qualified to and possesses a valid certificate to carry out verification. He stated that the hydrostatic test is carried out after 5 years as per guidelines of the manufacturer and the provision of OSH Act. Madam Speaker, although the law clearly provides that gas cylinders must be examined at least once every 5 years, it would appear that in practice, inspection and testing occurs only once every 5 years. As regard to Part B of the question, I'm informed that the officers of NOSH undertakes regular visits to places of work, including hotels. On average, visits are carried out at some 20 hotels yearly. As at 23rd of July 2025, 130 hotels are registered under Occupation Safety and Health Act. In respect of Part B1 and B2 of the question, I'm further informed that officers of the USH has carried out visits at 12 hotels since March 2025, and no contravention has been established. I'm tabling the list of the 12 hotels that have been inspected.
Thank you, Minister. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Will the Honourable Minister inform the House the number of officers posted in the enforcement section to cover the whole Mauritius And if there has been any lack of OSH officers in that department, the fact that you have just announced 20 hotels are visited on a yearly basis, despite we have 135 hotels registered as a ministry.
Yes, Minister.
Yes, I have been informed, Madam Speaker, that there are currently only 19 officers posted at the enforcement division of the OSH at my ministry, and at least 25 staff are required, and we have made requests for unfunded position to be filled.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Briefly, Doctor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Since we are talking about tragic accident with regard to diving, diving may also cause serious decompression sickness. Will the Honourable Minister consider formal implementation of hyperbaric oxygen treatment by hotels who offer large-scale diving? Thank you.
Very good.
I will certainly convey this message, and we'll have to discuss with the Minister of Tourism and the Minister of Health.
Of course. Thank you. Yes, the Honourable Second Member for Rivière-des-Anguilles-Souillat. Last question.
B790, please.
Madam Speaker, Metro Express Limited was incorporated on 26 October 2016 as a public limited company. It is wholly owned by the Government of Mauritius and responsible for the implementation of a multimodal transport system by pioneering a new sector in the local transport industry through the development, financing, construction, operation, and management of the Metro Express light rail transit system in Mauritius under the Metro Express project. The Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the project of the Metro Express was financed by the Government of India, partly through a grant and partly through a line of credit. As part of a requirement within the funding for the line of credit agreement with Government of India, the appointment of a project manager consultant, PMC, in short, was made, and since the project was being financed by the Government of India, an Indian company, namely RITES, was selected by the Government of India and appointed by the Government of Mauritius. The Government of Mauritius, under its G2G agreement with the Government of Singapore, enlisted the Singapore Corporation Enterprise to provide delivery support and advisory services, in short DSAS, to ensure that the concept design of the project was being effectively implemented by the EPC contractor. Under the DSAS, the scope of work comprised of the design and construct delivery services focused on design and contract management, integration, issues resolution, refinements, provision of technical support and briefings, and support the MEL, Metro Express Limited, on other enabling aspects related to the development of the project and ensure that the concept design is effectively implemented. Madam Speaker, in view to operate the light rail transit system, the services of consultants were enlisted by MEL to capacity build and train the required staff for operation readiness as follows. A, Singapore Corporation Enterprise, Singapore Mass Transit Rapid Transit, which is SMRT Corporation, from September 2018 to September 2020, amounting to 296.5 million rupees, but paid in Singapore dollars. Independent Safety Assessment, ISA, by Metro Transit Solution, MTS, for Phase 1, approximately 4.69 million rupees, and SMRT, Singapore Corporation Enterprise, and STRIDES for Phase 2, A, 2B, 2C, and 3 for approximately 89.55 million rupees. Madam Speaker, for the sake of time, I'm tabling the full list of contractors who have been enlisted by MEL since its setting up, with the names, dates, contract amount, and nature of service. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Can the Honourable Minister inform the House whether proper procedures have been followed in all these activities, and if not, whether an inquiry will be opened?
Time and again we hear about the methodology used by Metro Express Limited, but I can certainly ask the officers, based on the list that I've submitted, to give me a report on the processes followed for the award of these contracts.
Yes. That's it for this morning. I will suspend the sitting for 1.5 hours.